The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network.
Good afternoon. I'm Doc D.
I'm Michelle.
And we are the Mangums.
We want to welcome you to Straight Talk About the Blended Family.
We appreciate you tuning in to us today, and we pray that we will give you a fresh perspective on how to allow your blended family to mesh and to blend well.
Hey everybody, Michelle Mangum.
Welcome to another segment.
I want to let you know about our books. This book right here is called Blending to Make.
Welcome to another segment of Straight Talk About the Blended Family. I am D. Mangum.
I am Michelle.
And we are the Mangums. Listen, we are so grateful that you joined in today. We are really, really excited. Let me tell you why we're excited. We're excited because we get a chance to honor these phenomenal women that are breast cancer survivors.
Yes.
And that's what we want to do with our show today. We got some people that are calling in, some tremendous women that have overcame and have become victorious in their challenge with breast cancer. And this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So my wife and I, we just wanted to honor these incredible women all over the world, wherever you are. We want you to call in today. My wife's going to give you the number after I pray, but we know how we do it here on Straight Talk About the Blended Family. So we want to pray first. Father, we thank you so much for your divine grace. We thank you for another opportunity, God. And today this month is a special month as we honor all of those women that have won the challenge and overcame breast cancer. They are breast cancer survivors, but they're champions in their own right. So today, God, we pray that women will call in, God, and just share their testimony, share their journey about 10 minutes today so we can just honor them. And we thank you, Lord, for this show. We thank you for everybody that's connected to us, God. We thank you for WBGR, every portion and affiliate at WBGR. We thank you for that. Have your way today in the precious name of your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. All right, so now we want to thank the Lord, first of all, for just blessing us to have this opportunity to have this platform. We want to thank Lionel Green and the WBGR staff here at the station. We want to thank all our prayer warriors at Family Worship Center, our prayer warriors on all the prayer groups that we're involved with. We want to thank them for covering us in prayer and covering the show. We want to thank those who are sponsors and those who are supporters, those who watch the show, share the show. They have watch parties with their family and friends so that they can see the show and be blessed. Because our goal on this show is to make sure that somebody's life is changed in some kind of way. For the better.
Yes.
However, today we're going to give you some information about breast cancer, but we're also going to, we're asking people who are breast cancer survivors to call in the show and give their testimony of how they overcame. And so we're excited. So feel free to call at 301-429-9247. That's 301-429-9247.
Please call in.
If that line is busy, call 301-306-7284. That's 301-306-7284. Okay?
Yeah, and so my wife and I, let me say this to you off the top. We are not breast cancer's doctors or specialists, but like any information you want to know about anything, you look it up. And so I took the time out to look up some statistics. Again, we're not going to crowd your mind with statistics and all of that today, but we just want this show to be uplifting today and encouraging. So we need you to participate today, audience. We need you to call in if you know someone as well that have overcame breast cancer. Maybe they don't want to get online. Maybe they're giving you permission to tell a little bit of their story. Do not hesitate to call in because we want to hear your journey. We want to hear the victory that God gave you over this. But we want to talk about a few statistics. Let me read a few things for you. About 1 in 8 U.S. women, about 12% will develop invasive breast cancer over the course of their lifetime. In 2019, an estimated 600 new cases of invasive breast cancer are expected to be diagnosed in women in the U.S., along with 62,930 new cases of non-invasive in situ breast cancer. The reality is that we know that breast cancer exists, but we also know that with breast cancer or with the treatments, you know already, audience, that preventive maintenance or preventive measures will allow you to catch it early and to get the appropriate treatment. And we want you to know, yes, these statistics are current and they're new, but you don't have to be a statistic. You can change the trajectory of this disease by taking care of yourself. And my wife, I want you to read the next one about 2,600 new cases.
About 2,670 new cases of invasive breast cancer are expected to be diagnosed in men in 2019. A man's lifetime risk of breast cancer is about 1 in 883. So it's not that common in men, but men
it does happen.
Men do get breast cancer.
Yes. And so we just wanted you to know that we are aware as men that we have to get our checkups. If you got something going crazy on in your system, you have to go and get your doctor to get the checkup to make sure that you are handling the preventive idea about this.
It's called preventive.
Yes.
Preventive. Okay, that means if you feeling an ache or pain.
Yeah.
If you and do self checks.
A lump or something.
Do self checks. I don't want to sit here and
No, just do self checks.
And give examples.
Yeah, don't give example on that.
No. That's why, but give yourself a self, just touch every now and then. You want, like once a month, once a quarter. You want to start touching around in your chest area so you can get familiar with your chest. So that once you do it, you'll know all the lumps and bumps that you have, all the gristles, all the tissues and all that. But if you find a bump, if you find a lump, especially if it's hard and it's just sitting there and it's painful, you want to make sure that you get that checked. You don't just feel something and ignore it. Okay, that's the worst thing you can do, because nowadays with the technology that the doctors have, early prevention. Oh my God, it's
awareness.
It's so
yes,
it's so amazing. Because if they catch it early, you have a greater chance of surviving. Okay.
Amen. Listen, my wife is on point, and gentlemen, I knew a couple men. I knew a couple men that had they had a lump or something on their chest, and they got it checked out, and he found out that he had breast cancer. And so all I'm saying to you gentlemen that are listening, that you got to take care of yourself. We can't just think that it's a women's battle or women's disease.
A women's thing.
1 in 883. Now you could be that one out of that 883 gentlemen. So you want to make sure. The next statistics is about 41,760 women in the U.S. are expected to die. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't survive. So we want to give you both ends of it, so you understand, from breast cancer. Though death rates have been decreasing since 1989. And I believe that the rates of people succumbing to breast cancer, the women, are because they're doing preventive care. They're checking themselves out.
Yes.
They're making sure that they're doing the right health things so that they can be better.
Listen, going on their checkups.
We got to realize
their breast exams.
Yes, and we got to realize that we can be a part of not being a part of the statistics. You got to do some other things. You got to eat right. Let me read this next statistic. It says in women under 45, the breast cancer is more common in African American women than white women. Overall, African American women are more likely to die of breast cancer. For Asian, Hispanic, and Native American women, the risk of developing and dying from breast cancer is low. Now, let me tell you this, and I get it. I get, that the women in the African American community, you're at a greater risk, and I get that. But we can also change that statistic by, again, taking care of yourself, going to your doctor's treatment, getting whatever check, whatever check you need to get, and don't hesitate. And sometimes, one of the things I want to say this, because I experienced it in my family, some of the women in my family had breast cancer, and unfortunately did not survive. But one of the things that happened, they waited too long, and then they were afraid that the result was going to say that they had breast cancer. Here's the thing. If you go early, even if the biopsy comes back positive and that you do have breast cancer or you do have a tumor, then if you do it early and you ask God to give you the strength and not be afraid, ask God to give you courage and hope so that you can trust God and trust the doctors so that you can get this thing taken care of. Listen, you know, the reality is, sisters and women, that you deserve to be on this earth. You deserve to be a blessing to someone, and you deserve to inform yourself and inform others about what you're dealing with.
And with the technology of today,
yes,
with the technology of today, there's so many people who have gotten the cancer, who have got early detection, who have got early treatment, and they are survivors. So don't wait. When you wait and you ignore those symptoms and you ignore, you know, what your body is telling you, and you don't go to the doctor and you just keep waiting and, you know, it'll feel better later, you know, well, you know, you can't put it off. You have to go early, because if you keep putting it off, there's a chance for it to spread. There's a chance for it, you know, for it to burst, and then it's going to really spread and be all over the place. So you don't want that, because then it affects other areas, and
definitely.
You definitely don't want it to affect other areas, you know. So if they can catch it, you know, in case, just right there, you know what I mean? Just, you know, just a lump right there, you know, they can take it out. They have laser procedures that they can do.
Yeah, we don't want to get into all of what they can do, because I don't know specifically. My wife is giving you some tips of some of the different procedures that can take place. Everybody, and we're not MDs, so we don't want to get too deep into that, because that's out of our bailiwick, if you will. But we just want to encourage you.
I know that portion of it, because I've had close family members who had breast cancer. They're breast cancer survivors, praise the Lord. But you know, so I know the process that they went through.
Yeah, and I think the reality is this: when you understand who you are, and you understand whose you are, and that you understand it's your temple, it's God's temple, and He wants you to take care of yourself. And I know historically, I know there's a lot of statistics out there that talks about hereditary genes and some genetic mutations. I know, because I did a lot of reading on it, but I'm not here to talk about that today. What I'm here to talk about is what we're here to talk about is to really encourage you to really take care of yourself. And I know you are, but to really be deliberate in making sure that you live the very best life you can live. And even though if you get hit with this thing, that you can overcome it and you can come out of it by taking the necessary steps to be that champion and that great person that God has called you to come through and to come over and to be a victorious during your journey. So listen, again, call us today. 301-429-9247, because listen, somebody is going through it right now, and they in the process, and they may need to hear your testimony. They need to hear your lifting up. Yes, babe. Hear your encouragement. Again, 301-306-7284 is the numbers you can call in, and we just want to hear you. We're not trying to put you on blast, but we believe that this segment today will bless you and bless others, because guess what? A lot of times your testimony can help somebody else. So you know what? I can get motivated. I can go through the process. Maybe that person is going through chemotherapy or radiation, and they just need that boost. You know how it is. We all need somebody to give us an encouraging boost or encouraging lift up, a thumbs up. And so if you call today to share your testimony, to share your journey, we're not trying to get in your business. We just want you to know that you can be that instrument of encouragement. Yes, you don't even have to give us 10 minutes. You can give us 3 minutes and say how you came through this, what was the procedures, now how you're doing, tell us where you're from. So we just want to invite you to come call in. We got a couple more statistics. We want to talk about some things. Again, my wife and I, we're not experts on breast cancer. I know I'm not an expert. So, but we also know with winning the battle over breast cancer is how we take care of ourselves nutritionally.
Absolutely.
I think it's very important that what we eat and what we don't eat. This all plays a role in you having the right combatants within your body and within your system that allow you to move forward. Okay, go ahead and read that, babe.
Across racial and ethnic groups in the U.S., African American women had the highest breast cancer mortality rate of any racial ethnic group. 28.9% deaths, per 100,000 women. Age adjusted and normalized to the 2000s standardized U.S. population. Asian and Pacific Islanders women had the lowest mortality rates, 11.3, with white Caucasians, they have 20.6, Hispanics 14.3, and American, Indian, Native Americans, they have 14.5. Women have an intermediate mortality rates based on cancer registry data.
So basically, what?
Line two.
Good afternoon. This is Dr. D.
Oh, she said she was on hold.
Hello.
Hello. I am sorry you've been on hold. Please forgive us. How are you? Who's calling?
I'm good.
Who's calling?
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Robin Evans.
Robin Evans.
Hi, Robin.
How are you?
Hi. I'm fine.
Good. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you for calling.
Oh, you're welcome.
Where are you calling from, Robin?
Philadelphia.
Okay. The city of brotherly and sisterly love.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Robin, come on and talk to us today. Come on, tell us a little bit about I understand you are a breast cancer survivor.
Yes, I am. And I was diagnosed in 2008 with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that had metastasized to my liver.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
And the first doctor that I went to told my husband to take me home and get my affairs in order. And I think that's an important part of my story, in that doctors, first of all, don't have the last say, and that you have to become educated about your disease in order to fight it.
Yes,
and
that's good.
I say that the minute a person is diagnosed, they're classified as a survivor, because prior to that, they didn't even know that they had a fight on their hands. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Keep talking. We're listening, dear.
Yes, and so what happened after that is, by the grace of God, I went and got a second opinion.
Awesome.
And found an amazing doctor.
Awesome.
And began a long journey of treatment. But I said that if God allowed me to survive my illness, that I would work to be a blessing to others.
Yes.
Wow.
And to help other people through that blessing. So
that's awesome.
Throughout chemotherapy, we threw parties. Instead of just sitting around having chemotherapy, we bought the boombox, balloons, candy.
That's awesome.
Wow, Robin.
The thing is that people lose their joy in fighting their illness. What I did is I found my joy in fighting the illness, and that whatever time God allowed me to be here, that I could be a blessing to other people. And that was 11 years ago.
Robin,
Amen.
that is phenomenal. Look at God. Robin, you have inspired me even more by calling in, taking the time to call in and to share with our audience your amazing, triumphant testimony and journey. 11 years. Oh my goodness. That is just really, really awesome in so many ways. And I can still hear the joy that's in you. And you know, my wife and I, because you know our cousin Tamara Trumbo, and we have your book. We have where you kind of gave you an excerpt in this book,
The Pink Sister
Chronicles 2, you know, and so we were grateful to get that book. Matter of fact, we were at the gala, we were there, and we heard your testimony there. And not only is it phenomenal, I think it's so effervescent because you said so many wonderful things in what you were saying. But one of the things you said is that you got your joy. And when you went through chemotherapy, y'all had a party after that. You brought the boombox. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you win, because a win is already in you. But we got to know how to execute that winner's mentality. Don't you agree, Robin?
Absolutely, because when you lose your joy, you allow the devil to take over.
Wow.
And so he will put all kinds of things in your head. Nobody has the final say but God, and you're on this earth for a reason.
That's right.
And so I felt that by spreading my joy, that that God has allowed me the time to continue to spread it.
Wow.
But I think that what is also crucially important,
yes,
and in that time, because as a result, first I became a breast cancer advocate, just advocating for women.
Okay.
And then I found a unique niche. I'm a breast cancer research advocate.
Wow.
And what I do now is I work with researchers from around the country in order to make sure that the needs of our community are addressed through the research.
Wow.
That's a twofold process in that I have to educate researchers about our community.
Yes.
And I also have to teach our community how to participate in research. Because, as a community, we do not like research. We have, because it's geeky and all of that. And I always say to the community, first of all, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Yes.
Wow. Woo! That's good, Robin. That's good. If you're not at the table, audience, you're on the menu in research of cancer. Woo! That's good stuff. Yes, Robin.
And the research has changed. We now have black researchers. We now have black research advocates. And we sit at the table with researchers, and we hear the research, we hear the process, and we show them how to make it even better.
Wow. That is simply phenomenal.
One project that I'm working on that I'm very excited about is I work with Dr. Edith Mitchell, who is absolutely incredible oncologist, researcher, and she's also retired brigadier general.
Wow.
Woman retired brigadier general. She's at Jefferson. And we sit on the Econ Akron board together, which is kind of a county medical society for researchers across the nation. And one of the things, the project, and I'm so excited about it, that we just started working on, is we made a collaboration with the National Medical Association of Black Doctors, and we are now identifying, training, and providing opportunities to the next generation of black researchers, so that we have black researchers that see our needs and are working with us.
That's
black women
wonderful.
are 40 times more likely, and then when some communities, that can go up to 60% more likely to die of breast cancer. And that's because we have not participated in the research. We don't understand the research.
Yes.
And so if we don't participate in it, and I always try to explain to people that if you're not participating in the research, then you're getting the same treatment that everybody else is getting. And it might not be the best treatment for you.
That's good. Yes,
For
Robin.
example, one of the treatments for cancer works well on everybody, but in African-American women, it gives them neuropathy. Beats in their hands.
Okay.
So now we have a research study that's showing us what is the level of drugs that women need to take in order not to get neuropathy. But because we don't have that research on actual black women, we didn't know. We have that research now. We're educating the community. Not all research is bad. One woman said, I don't want them experimenting on with drugs. No, some of the research on drugs that are already approved, we just don't know how they work in different populations.
Yes.
Because it might work one way with one population, but because of the increased melanin in our skin, the same drug could have a different impact on us. And so we have come so far, and I will say that I am so inspired. I'm also a grant reviewer for the Department of Defense for breast cancer, and we have given away $450 million for research, and it's the first time that we also have African-American breast cancer advocates on that team working with research.
Robin, that's fantastic.
No, we don't do this. We need to do that.
Robin?
And it's working.
Robin, I thank you so much. We got another caller calling in. I appreciate you taking the time out for calling. Bless you.
Thank you so much.
Please go to our
Robin.
Facebook page and put your information on it so we can share this with everyone, okay?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Thank you
so much.
God bless you.
To me and everybody, have a good day.
You too.
Do the same.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, Dr. D, Michelle.
Hi,
Hi, who's calling?
this is Peggy. I'm calling from Waldorf, Maryland.
Peggy. Is this Sister Ferguson?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Peggy.
Hi, this is Dr. D. I haven't talked to you and met you. You've been talking to my wonderful wife, Michelle. But thank you for taking time out today.
Yes.
Thank you for waiting on the line.
you.
Listen, we just want you to take a moment, if you can, and just share your journey of being a victorious cancer survivor. Can you share that with our audience? And where you're calling from Waldorf, correct?
Yes,
Okay, Peggy, go ahead. You have the floor.
calling from Waldorf.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. We go ahead and talk. You have the floor.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm calling from Waldorf, Maryland. My journey began in 2004.
Okay.
I had diagnosed at that time with breast cancer. I was diagnosed by means of a regular and routine mammogram.
Okay.
Okay.
So I definitely try to encourage all women to go get their mammogram. You can't wait until you have a feeling or something.
Yes.
And I was diagnosed in 2004 with breast cancer, but praise God, it was very tiny.
Yes.
I only had to have a lumpectomy at that time.
Okay.
And I also opted for radiation
Okay.
in 2004. But I am a double survivor because just recently in 2017, I was diagnosed again
Okay.
with that same breast.
Okay.
But it was, again, a blessing from God because it was very tiny. And
Okay.
it hadn't spread to any other organs or anything outside of that area.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I was grateful to God for that. But I did receive a mastectomy at that time, but I didn't have to do radiation or anything like that. But
Wow.
again,
Yes.
it was diagnosed by a routine mammogram. So I can't stress enough to everyone listening that it's very important that they just have their routine mammograms because you can't wait for a feeling, a lump, a pain, because I had no symptoms.
Right. Wow.
And so they were just found through those forms that, and I hope that everyone has that opportunity to get their mammogram.
Yes.
So
Well, Peggy.
I
go ahead.
am doing well.
Yes.
Since then, it was a journey, but I always know that God is with me. I can't say that I wasn't a little nervous or afraid at times,
definitely.
only because of the process.
Well, that's human nature,
Not because I know God is able.
Yes.
I know that He is able in all things. So, but I pushed forward to do what I needed to do to take care of myself, so that I could be around for my family and my grandchildren.
Yes.
So
Wow.
That is my journey.
Yeah. Well, Peggy, not to cut you off, we're so grateful that you've taken time out to share this with our audience, because you said a couple things. You said a couple things that really sparked my inspiration to tell our audience, male or female, because we understand, there's a percentage of men, 6.8% of men really, they get breast cancer or they have a tumor. But one of the things that you said was really on spot, and I think a lot of times we fail to realize how important it is to get those routine checkups.
Yes.
To if you wait for something to happen, you need to. So what you're telling me is that you have a process also of being proactive, and so not sitting around and listening, whatever. And also what I heard is that you had You have something to allow you to push towards. You had a goal. You want to be around for your family, your kids, your grandkids. And that's an incentive to even make sure that you get the right treatment, that you go and get checked out, because you deserve to be around your children, your grandchildren, if God bless you with great-grandchildren. But we got to take care of ourselves, because...
So I have a question. Peggy, I have a question. Did you have a support system? Like, did you have people? You did?
Yes. Actually, one of the biggest support system I had was my mother, who was also a survivor. So we were both survivors.
Wow.
And also my daughter, who went with me through a lot of the procedures I had to have. And they both were very supportive. My daughter, thank God, has not had anything like that, but I encourage her to always go, to be proactive, like you said.
Absolutely.
Do mammograms and do whatever she needs to do, even as far as being healthy with your diet or exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Peggy. So do you have you had do you do, like, you know how they encourage us at the doctor's office to do our own self
examination,
exams, like when we're home, in the shower, whatever. You do yours?
Yes, I did that. Well, now at this point, I've had a mammogram, a mastectomy on one side, but I still continue to do that.
Okay.
I still continue to have my mammogram.
Okay, awesome.
Women's breasts are all different and different shapes, and some people just naturally have bumps and lumps. But you have to know your bumps and lumps.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff.
You have to become acquainted with yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And just be proactive. If you feel something or know something, then, go to your doctor and have them check it out.
Wow.
Be proactive about it.
Peggy, let me say this. This is Dr. D. I am so thankful for you, for what you're sharing with our audience. You're inspirational, and I know that when my wife asked that question, and that's a very key question about support. And I think that anybody that's going through this process, it's very important. I'm saying this to my audience as I say it to you. You already know this, that you get a support group or support mechanisms, because mentally and emotionally, you really need somebody. If they went through it, they're even a better support, in my opinion. But you need family and friends that will love you through the process, because listen, we're all human and we all face that C word. There is some intrepidation. I don't care if you've been in the church for 400 years and been in Christ for 600 years. We are human and we're all subject to have fear. And so I'm grateful that you were transparent today about your honesty about having a little fear, but then you just capped it off when you said your daughter and your mother, and you had quality people that went with you through the process.
Yes.
That is so important.
It's
Or
so
any
important.
illnesses, but this situation with breast cancer, especially within the African American community, that we support one another at the highest level. And know that this process, I believe through this process, the people that went with you, or even your mom, I believe she learned something different about you, about the process, because medical technology has changed over maybe the time when she first had her, even when you first was diagnosed in 2004. Things have changed. Everything has been in an expedition move with medical science, and so I am grateful. We're grateful that you have done this, and that you have planted some tremendous seeds of wisdom and inspiration within our audience, so they can know, listen, get checked out.
Yes.
Amen.
So
I
Yes.
couldn't have done it without the support system, even my mother and my daughter, but also very close friends who, were there, my church family.
Yes.
Who were very supportive with me, because, like you said, things changed between my first case and the more recent one.
Yes.
How things had changed, even as far as medications and all types of things.
Yeah.
Right.
And I heard the caller before talk about research. I know that that's very important, because they need to have information in order to progress and to make things better for
absolutely
people who may,
absolutely.
So I did participate in the research study as well.
That's awesome.
Peggy, you are such a champion.
Awesome.
Listen, we're going to get ready to go, but
quick question. So, with the research that you participated in, did you have an opportunity to go around and encourage women?
No, I mean, I do that on my own personal level.
Okay.
With my friends and family.
Yes.
And, but I haven't had a chance to get out and do that. But that's something I would like to do.
Okay.
Well, Peggy, let me tell you something. You have been such an inspiration to our radio show. And for the whole month, let me just say this to you. We're going to be having a guest next week in the studio and the following week. But please, if you know anyone that would like to call in and ask questions, don't hesitate to call in, because this is just not for you. This is for so many people that listen. We have people, the Lord has blessed us, people all over the world listening to our radio show and then watching us on Facebook Live. And they need to have those golden nuggets that you just dropped. You just dropped some tremendous nuggets.
They need to be encouraged.
Yes.
They need to know that there are women who have gone through it and have survived, and that, they can have a support system. If they don't have a support system, there are a lot of women's groups out here. I know Tracy's Bio. You can see this. Tracy's Bio. They have a group, and they support women who have been diagnosed. They make sure. I mean, they send somebody to an appointment with you. They do all kinds of different things. And I'm sure they're not the only group doing it. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there's other groups doing it. But it's very important for women to know that there are groups out there who will support. Who will support them if they don't have a support system. Man, that's tremendous. That's tremendous.
we really want to thank you, Peggy.
Yes, thank you so much.
Just
for
coming in, you
really
are such a champion,
it.
and I can't wait till we personally meet you, because
I look forward to that.
my wife and I have become a fan of yours now, and so you got to watch out. We're following you now. But listen, blessings to you. Have a wonderful rest of this Wednesday. Thank you again. Take care.
All right.
God bless.
All right,
Bye bye.
Peggy.
Bye-bye.
Wow. We had two callers, audience. One was a tremendous advocate for research and a cancer survivor for 11 years.
I should have held it up, because this is the book, but I should have held it up.
This is the book that she had an excerpt in.
This is Robin Evans. This is her story.
It's just tremendous. We met her a few years ago.
This is Robin, she signed the book where her name is for us.
Yes.
And tremendous woman of God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. And well educated in that, and funny.
And she is so funny.
Yeah, and so we are, my wife and I, we take everything that we do very seriously.
Yes, we do.
Because our goal is to make everyone better.
Yes.
Again, we don't have to have all of the knowledge and the wisdom in a particular area for us to discuss it. That's why we wanted you to call in. Because if you went through the process of overcoming breast cancer, and you are a breast cancer survivor and victorious, triumphant woman, then you call in and share your story. That's why we recognize that we don't do this alone. This is a village. One thing we do on our show, Straight Talk About the Blended Family, we're experts in that area and some other areas, but when we come to breast cancer, we may know some statistics, but here's the reality. We all deserve to help one another. Absolutely. And I thank God for Peggy. Absolutely. We thank God for Robin. That took the time out their schedule to share, really their journeys with us and with you guys. Because guess what? We all need to be lifted. As I said earlier, my wife and I, we are advocates of uplifting people and empowering people and equipping people. And guess what? We don't have all the answers. But if you went through something, if you face this thing called breast cancer, young ladies or women, mature or whatever. Or men. Call in today. We still got a little more time. The number is 301-429-9247. If that line is busy, 301-306-7284. We're waiting on your call. We got a few more moments that we want you to share with our audience so you can encourage somebody today. As I forestated earlier, somebody is going through this right today, October the 16th. They've been diagnosed. and they are going through the process, and they just need to hear a word of encouragement from you. You need to let them know that they made it. God blessed them through, and God is no respecter of person. So what God did for that person, He will do it and can do it for you. So we just want to encourage you. I'm excited. My wife is excited about this thing, this topic. Breast cancer awareness. And the real thing is that we just want to honor you. We just want you to know that we appreciate your journey.
Yes.
We appreciate your capacity to share. What you want to say anything about that, baby?
And we appreciate the fact that we had Robin and Peggy call in and willing to share their stories. Not just willing to share their stories. Both of these ladies went to the table. They went in to be a part of getting
the research process.
Getting research for African American women, because somehow some of the medicine, I guess, wasn't compatible
with their bodies' makeups,
right? And so they went to the table, and they're part of the research teams, and they're
advocates.
Are you kidding me? That is fantastic. And then then Robin mentioned Dr. Edith Reynolds, who was at Jefferson Hospital, and she is the head, and she is awesome.
She's a bad lady.
And she is doing all kinds of research for breast cancer, because we're trying to knock this cancer out.
Yeah, and when we get information, we get more educated in it. And when I love what Robin said. Robin said, if you're not at the table, you on the menu.
Yes.
I love what she said.
Mercy.
That quote, and I'm not trying to steal it, because I don't steal, but that quote was powerful. It spoke volumes, hopefully, to our audience, and spoke volumes to us.
So, ladies, gentlemen, don't put your head under the blanket because you're afraid to get checked, or because you're afraid to check.
Yes.
Early prevention is the key.
Yeah, if you take your life serious, and whatever your incentive is. Peggy said, our previous card said, my incentive, if I want to be around for my children and my grandchildren, find something that's going to incentivize you, that will cause you to get that preventive measure. Go get your mammograms, go whatever you need to get before it's too late. If you catch this thing early, now, if you catch it early, God will work with it, whether you catch it early or late. But isn't it better to catch it early?
Yes.
So the doctors and you can have a different approach and perspective in overcoming it. Again, I spoke earlier. There's already a winner in you. Absolutely. But you got to activate that winner by being proactive.
Yes. And then Robin made another point. She said that people's joy go away. So for those of you who are supporters, you have somebody in your life or in your family who is who has breast cancer.
Yes.
It's essential that support system be there, that they are calling. Make sure, if say for instance, if you got 7 friends or 7 family members, make sure somebody is reaching out every day. Make sure, get a schedule going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll take Monday, you take Tuesday. Everybody is taking a scheduled day
to pour into them, to lift them.
This person, or go and pray with this person, or go and hang out with this person, or go and be there, when they're vomiting, and help and clean it up, or go and feed them, or whatever it takes, because as Robin said, and she's a survivor, she knows, as she said, they lose their joy. So be encouraging. Don't go over there gloom and doom. You want to go over there with a joyful heart, joyful spirit. You want to lift them up. You want to tell them they can do it. You want to, tell them that you're there for them. Anything they need, you want to be encouraging, okay, so that their joy can be remain or return. You don't want them to suffer in silence. Those who are suffering in silence, they 9 times out of 10 may not very well make it.
Well, I think,
but we want, we want to.
No, I think that's important that we understand how valuable we can be as a supporter. And also, I want to add on to that, Sugar, is that we need to be cheerleaders.
Yes.
We need to be the biggest cheerleaders of the people that we know that have been diagnosed, because you don't understand the mental and the emotional wherewithal unless you've been through it. Now, if you've been through it, you get it.
Yeah.
But if you've never been through it, and a family member or a friend that's going through it right now, they really need you to be their cheerleader.
Yes.
Even if you're a gentleman. Brethren, you need to cheer your brother on.
My husband said cheerleader, so you know my creative imagination. Put you on a cheerleading outfit, get some pom-poms going over there,
Lord.
you know. And you know
that will make them laugh
and do something crazy to get them to laugh.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because you want their joy to be restored.
Yes.
You know, you want their happiness to be restored. You want their laughter to be restored.
I'm so glad that Robin mentioned that because you don't think about that.
No, you don't. Because there's so much going on. There's so much fear, and you got to make sure you keep the devil out of people's heads and out of their ears, because he is the arch rival of encouragement with discouragement and depression and losing hope and wanting to give up and wanting to quit. So listen, encourage someone today.
Now, I know when my cousin went through with her bout with breast cancer, she slept a lot after she would have her radiation and chemo. And but the thing about it is she was dehydrated. So you have to make sure, so those of you who are support system, make sure they are drinking plenty of fluids, because they can get dehydrated and not even realize it. You know what I mean? So if you have to wake them up every couple of hours and have them drink, you know, put the drink in.
Yeah, because your health is important.
Put it up to their mouth and make sure that they drink. You know, that is very important. I learned that, you know, being with her in her
process, in her journey
of healing.
We don't want to tell you a lot about it because she may be calling in next week, so we don't want to give you her whole story.
No, we're not giving
because
I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, she's making that point about that
as supporters, you know, so that you kind of know what to look out for.
Yeah, and I think that's important that we all understand how valuable we can be to one another, and I think that we also we need to understand that we recognize that we're not alone.
That's right.
See, one of the things that the devil loves to do is to give us this mindset, or to feed us this lie that we're alone, that we're the only one going through this. And even though somebody may have went through it, they're not going through the way I'm going through. Listen, we need one another. Absolutely. And I don't care how strong, opinionated you are. I don't care how independent you are. When you're facing something that calls life in question, you need someone other than yourself. You need a supporting mechanism, whether it's your church, whether it's your family, your friends, your co-workers. Listen, we recognize that, they have designated October. Let me say this real quick. They have designated October to be Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Don't wait till October to start encouraging, start supporting. If you know someone been diagnosed outside of October, here's your opportunity to lift them up. Don't wait for a month. Absolutely. We have a tendency to wait for calendar things to do stuff. Do it before that time.
And ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are breast cancer survivors, I just want to encourage you to get involved. You know,
get connected.
I know you went through your process, you know, and you're healed now, but get involved, because there are women and men who are going through the process, and they need to hear that somebody came through it.
They need to hear your testimony.
Yes, they need that encouragement.
Your journey of victory.
And that's what,
Very much so.
Great point. When I grew up, it took a village, to raise a child. So it's the same thing with any other area in life. It takes a village. You know, we can't do this thing by ourselves. So if you're a survivor, please encourage somebody else who is beginning their process or in the middle of their process. Encourage them, let them know that you're a survivor and you came through, and so can they.
Let me say this before we go further, babe. Yes. One of the things that you and I both know, that nutrition, when you are diagnosed with any type of considered terminal illness, you have to look at what you've been eating. Look at your diet, look at who's around you for your mental capacity. But we got to start eating better, especially within the African American community. Yes. And I know there's a push in the earth to become a vegan or a vegetarian. I'm not going to push you to do either one.
Not at all.
What I'm going to do is encourage you that you take a look at what you're putting in your mouth, because some of these cancerous parasites come from what we eat.
Yes.
Come from what we drink. Come from the containers we have, the things we cook with. Listen, they are poisoning everything.
Kick the can.
You know, and so there's a thing that says kick the can, and we wrote this down. Food and beverage cans are often lined with harmful substances, you know,
like BPA,
and you know, that's a poison, that's a chemical, and some recent replacement for BPA linings appear to be safer. Some contain other chemicals of concern, and for still others, the safety is unknown. Until manufacturers disclose the identity and safety of the BPA alternatives they're using, look for fresh or frozen options. You can also look for beverages, soups, sauces, and tomato products in bottles or jars, glass jars.
Glass jars.
Here's the reality. Everything
glass
that we deal with in today's society, unfortunately, it may have a cancer connection.
So kick the can means, if you can, stop buying stuff in cans.
Yes.
Because they have the lining of the BPA in it.
And you don't know. You can't see it.
Which is causing detriment to our bodies.
Yes. And the next one is, go ahead, read the next one, Sugar.
Get out of plastic. That's the next point that we want to get to. Get out of plastic. Plastics can leach harmful chemicals like BPA and phthalates into your food and beverages and then into you. Use glass, ceramic, stainless steel food storage containers, and water bottles. Never microwave plastic. Even microwave safe plastic can leach chemicals into food when heated. So we just read about cans. We just read about plastics. You want to focus on getting items in glass jars, getting items in ceramic jars, and stainless steel jars. If you have to heat up something in the microwave, don't heat it up in plastic, because we're finding that these plastics, when they get heated up, it's going into the chemicals going into the food, and of course it's going into your body once you consume it. So those are our tips right there.
Let me give you a couple more.
The toxic
we got
free.
4 minutes, so we're gonna give you a couple
Yes.
more. Ditch Teflon. Now, we found this on the internet. This is not our stuff. Ditch Teflon on pots and pans. Some toxic compounds are used in non-stick cookware. While they keep food and stains from sticking, they stick around in the environment, in the body, for a very long time, and have been linked to cancer. Make the switch to cast iron, ceramic, anodized aluminum cookware, and glass bakeware when it's time to replace your old pots and pans. Prioritize replacing cookware used over high heat and pieces that are scratched. Listen, when we become educated and we know better, we should do better. There's a lot of information that my wife and I wanted to share with you. Read one more, babe, because so
the next one is go organic and eat chemical free. Now, that when they say go organic and eat chemical free, we're not talking about being a vegan or being a vegetarian, even though we are.
Yes.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about go organic and eat free. So organic produce is grown without harmful pesticides and herbicides. Choose locally grown organic fruits and vegetables from farmers markets or your grocery store. When we eat meat and dairy products, we also eat the residue of what those animals ate. Choose hormone-free beef, I had to repeat that, and dairy to eliminate, so hormone-free beef, hormone-free dairy, to eliminate your consumption of pesticides and growth hormones that may contribute to an increased risk of breast cancer.
Wow. Listen, let me say this as we prepare to go. This has been a phenomenal day on so many levels. We want you to understand the value of what's going on. My wife said, read one more.
Yeah,
okay.
One more.
Limit red meat and processed meat products. Recent research is showing increased evidence of a link between high red meat consumption around adolescence and later life breast cancer. Yeah. Processed meat is also recognized as a carcinogen. Chose lean meats and low-fat animal products. With kids, encourage healthy eating from an early age, including plenty of vegetables and fruits. The reality is, we got to take care of us so that God can take care of us at another
you only
level.
Get one body.
You one shot at this thing called life, one shot at this thing called body. And listen, again, my wife and I, we're not trying to tell you to change your diet. We're trying to tell you to be aware of the things that can hinder or that can produce cancer or breast cancer cells within our bodies from the food we eat, the containers we eat the food out of. Listen, this has been a fantastic segment. We pray that you got something out of this. We thank God again for Robin and Peggy that called in. Thank you, Robin and Peggy. You guys just allowed us to go to another level to share our concern about breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. With that being said, you know how we do it. I'm going to have a word of prayer and then we're going to close out. Father, we thank you for just being who you are. We thank you for another opportunity. Straight talk about the blended family. You gave us a tremendous moment today to honor those women and even men that are breast cancer survivors and victors. We thank you for what you gave us today through Robin and Peggy. Thank you for them willing to share their journey and their incredible testimony. Allow your spirit to continue to strengthen them, continue to heal them and bless them as they go forward being advocates for breast cancer and breast cancer survivors and research. In the precious name of your son, Jesus. Amen. Hi.
Amen.
I'm Doc D.
I'm Michelle.
And we are the Mangums. And again, tune in. Share this broadcast or this segment on watch parties, on Facebook Live. Share it with your family and friends. Because I guarantee you today, Peggy or Robin said something that I believe just inspired you, just educated you, just informed you to really take care of yourself and take the proactive approach of preventative care of your body. We thank you again. We've had a tremendous time.
Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Same time, same channel, different guests. So this has been amazing.
Well, it's that time to end the show, but we've had an absolute blast.
Please come back and check us out on next Wednesday from 1:30 to 2:30, to where we will share some more insights on how the blended family can rise. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Peace be upon you.